Hello, and welcome to our session on teaching human services content. Now, we know FACS is unique in that it touches on so many different career clusters. And as a FACS instructor, you have many different directions available to you for fun and exciting content areas relating to human services. Here's a brief look at what we will be covering in our session today. Throughout the presentation, we'll be sharing many free resources and links, as well as showing you some hands-on resources available that you may want to consider adding to your career exploration toolkit. We will also be sharing some ideas for integrating some employability skills exploration into your classes as well. And then we will take a brief look at CTSO connections with middle school career development, and then at the end, we will take some questions. Remember, one of the roles of FACS educators is to help students understand how their current educational and personal choices will affect their future life roles, in particular, their choices for a career. Human services careers offer a wide variety of occupational choices for students. Family and consumer science educators are unique in CC because of the many clusters that fall within their areas that they teach. So today we're going to explore 5 different pathways within the human services career cluster, and we're going to share some activities, some resources, and some product ideas for how you can use these in your programs. Now, the first area we're going to look at today is some resources for teaching early childhood development and services. Now, the occupational area of focus here is child care director or teacher. And here is a free activity from our Child Care Center Design Kit. And any center director or even child care teacher needs to be concerned about how the environment is laid out for optimal learning. And this is an activity where students will gather all the information they need to plan out their ideal classroom. Now, if you're going to use this in a remote environment, you can give students information on optimal room design either through videos or from teacher-prepared information that you have. Now, the planning form that we're sharing here could be completed either at home for homework or in school. And then once students have completed this information gathering, then they draw their plan using graph paper. And there are many different graph paper download websites. And here's one. There's a link on the screen for you to choose from. But this is truly an activity that you can do with or without our Child Care Center Design Kit, but we thought it's really a good one, and it puts students into that real problem-solving, critical thinking of how should they lay out the best area possible in a child care center. Now, here are 4 products that we would like to highlight that would make helpful resources for providing some career skills in early childhood development and services. Now, we alluded to the Child Care Center Design Kit earlier. This kit provides good information on the importance of the learning environment in early education or early childhood. Now, the hands-on nature of the design project is really fun and engaging. Another tool, the Education and Training Career Exploration Kit, was designed with career exploration in mind. It includes one lesson from each pathway within the education and training cluster to give a wide variety of information. Our Child Care Center scenario cards are a very easy way to integrate employability skills into your education and training career exploration. Now, these were written by child care professionals, and the scenarios are real-world experiences that will draw students into a day in the life of a child care worker. Similarly, we have education and training scenario cards, and this is a set of pathway cards that integrates 19 different soft skills using real education and training scenarios. And they're flexible and easy to use as a supplemental career exploration tool. So just 4 things you may want to consider. Now, here are some free lesson plans relating to early childhood development services that we found. Now, the first one, lesson 1, can be found in our Child Care Center Design Kit, and it explores a variety of early childhood and care option occupations. So you can go to that link there, and it will take you to that lesson. Now, the second one focuses specifically on a series of FACS-related career exploration lessons. And there is one lesson in this series that focuses on working specifically with infants in education and human services. Now, the third link that you see is a free curriculum sample from our Education and Training Career Exploration Kit. And we just talked about that in the prior slide, and it will focus specifically on early childhood education. And then the fourth link that we're sharing with you on this slide, it includes a set of 2 free Education and Training Career Cluster lessons. And this one is found on the Nebraska Department of Education website, and we thought that these were a good mention. So things you may want to consider. Now, the second area we're going to look at some resources for teaching skills in are counseling and mental health services. Now, the occupational area of focus here is going to be on counseling. And we have a curriculum, it's called Life Skills and Healthy Choices for middle school students. And it has many lessons about puberty and relationships, dating, sexual wellness, and living the life of a teen parent. The activity that we're sharing here is taken from lesson 4 in that curricula, and it focuses specifically on healthy and unhealthy relationships. And this activity gets students thinking about the characteristics of healthy and unhealthy relationships. And as a counselor, helping your clients navigate and mend unhealthy relationships is a part of that job. So if you went to this link, and there are step-by-step instructions for doing this, but this is kind of an overview of the activity in the lesson. So you introduce the lesson by explaining that you're going to be talking about the traits and characteristics of those healthy and unhealthy relationships. Students are then going to go up and they're going to identify what they think constitutes a healthy relationship. And then you're going to have discussion, and some of the things they may come up and put on the board might be, honesty, open communication, fairness, respect, things of that nature. And you're going to explain that a strong dating relationship is based on equality and respect, not power and control. And then you're going to have students think about how they treat and how they want to be treated by someone they care about, and explain one of the best ways to learn about relationships at that age is group dating. So you would hand out the power and control wheel from the lesson, discuss how this behavior in a relationship, they're exact opposite ones that you wrote on the board, which were healthy, so they can learn to identify those unhealthy ones as well. So just a good activity for them to thoughtfully think through what good relationships or healthy relationships should look like. Now, here are a few products we like to highlight that we think would make helpful resources for providing some career exploration in counseling and mental health occupations. The first product is our soft skills program for caring for patients with intellectual disabilities, mental illness, or PTSD. And if you use this, it introduces participants to caring for patients or clients with intellectual disabilities, mental illness, and PTSD. And it also helps them to develop those soft skill strategies for meeting those needs. Our infant health trio of specialty babies are a really good way. They're hands-on demonstrators to use to help students understand the types of occupations that deal with substance abuse counseling. And this type of service is especially important during pregnancy, when abuse can impact a child for the rest of its life. Now, educators around the world are using Real Care Baby to teach early childhood, parenting, infant health lessons, and so on. And this baby includes 4 sets of curriculum and activities that help instructors create those relevant and career-driven learning experience. And we think that there's a lesson in the parenting curriculum that would be very helpful because it gives insights into this topic of marriage, and child and family counselors would expect to deal with family units. So we thought that might be a very good match for this occupational area. And then the fourth resource we are highlighting today is our workforce scenario cards. And this is a set of employability scenario cards that integrates the 19 different soft skills in real life work-related scenarios. And again, they're very flexible to use, but this is from a variety of occupational areas, but it makes a great supplemental career exploration tool. And we know that counseling and mental health services occupations also include career coaching and counseling. So that one might be good for you to use there as well. Now, here are some free lesson plans relating to human services careers in general. The first link up there, using the Real Care Program for Career Exploration, this one can be found at the link provided, and there are 3 lessons that fall within human services occupations, including counselor in that particular, at that link. And then the second link is a link to a 5-lesson unit all about human services career exploration. And each of these 5 lessons focuses on a different occupational area within that career cluster. But lesson 2 is specific to counseling and mental health services. So that might be just perfect for getting your students into that type of career exploration. Now, the third area we're going to look at today is family and community services, and we're going to take a look at some resources for teaching skills in those areas. First of all, our occupational area of focus is geriatric services. And we are sharing activity 2, which is the impact of aging on bones and joints in the hands and feet. And this activity comes straight from our lesson 4. It's the impact of aging on bones and joints. It's from our geriatric experience curriculum, which comes with our geriatric simulation suit. And if you go out to the link here, you will find this activity. And it helps you walk in the shoes of a geriatric patient or resident with arthritis. Now, this could be done using our geriatric simulator or even through a DIY low-cost approach where you're using things like tapes and gloves. So you could have your participants or students pair up, and then you're going to explain that they're going to be feeling what it's like to simulate arthritic hands. If you don't have our simulator, you could simply have them use transparent tape where one participant tapes the other participant's thumb and index finger together, and then on the other hand, you tape the 3 middle fingers of the dominant hand, and it restricts the movement, and it also simulates some of that stiffness due to arthritis. And then you have them go through a series of activities with their hands, so maybe cutting with the scissors, writing their name with a pen, perhaps opening a medication bottle, perhaps drinking from a glass, picking up and counting change, but things where they're using their hands. And then you could also have them put on a set of gloves where that would stimulate the experience of loss of sensation, perhaps neuropathy. Again, they could try similar activities where they're using their hands once they lose that tactile sensation and feel what it's like to have neuropathy in the hands. And also you could do that in the feet as well. Now, here are a few products we like to highlight that would make really good resources for providing some career skills in family and community services. First of all is our geriatric simulation suit, which will help your students walk in the shoes of an aging adult. Now, anyone in human services who may work with older clients in the future will have a much better understanding and also empathy for what aging adults may go through. Home health aides are one occupation that would find this foundational information really invaluable. Our infant health trio of fetal alcohol, drug affected, and shaken baby are great hands-on demonstrators to use to help your students understand the types of occupations that deal with infants with special medical conditions. Social workers do parenting education, sometimes home visits, and also deal with foster care of specialized infants. Our Geri Sensory Impairment Kit can really help students understand the impact of compromised senses in daily life. So geriatric workers or even adult daycare workers who have direct contact with geriatric or aging adults would really find this experience something that they would not forget. And then we have a set of geriatric scenario cards, and it's a set of soft skill scenario cards. 19 different soft skills are integrated into real life geriatric related scenarios. Again, flexible and easy to use as a supplemental career exploration tool, but many human services occupations border on or cross over into healthcare. So we felt that those soft skill cards would also make a great resource. Now we're going to take a look at some free lesson plans for family and community services. And our first link, it's to a 5-lesson unit on human services career exploration. But lesson 3 is specific to family and community services. The second link that we've got on the screen is by the Texas CTE, and it's a lesson introducing this pathway, and it's really enough content for 4 different 45-minute class periods. The third link, good resource, is a national organization for National Center on Safe, Supportive Learning Environments. And on their website, they have a family, school, and community partnership page. And when you go to that page, it has resources and research about family and community services that we think might be very helpful for planning some classroom activities around that area. So some new things that you could consider for your program. Now, area number 4 that we want to look at today is personal care services. And we're going to look at resources for teaching some personal care services skills. Now, the occupational area that we're focusing on here is a home care aide. And the activity that we're going to share is our elder abuse scenarios. And these come from a project we have called our Elder Abuse training kit curriculum. And when you go to the link here, it's going to take you to 2 elder abuse scenarios that you can go ahead and use with your students. And you can use it to discuss things like warning signs, how to report it, and just what to do about it. And you could certainly compare and contrast this scenario in a home care setting versus a facility. So this type of scenario-based learning really engenders a lot of discussion and rich talking points with students. So here are 4 different products we'd like to highlight that we think would make really good resources for providing some career skills in personal care services. The first one is our geriatric foot care model, and it's a detailed life-size geriatric foot care model that has a variety of 8 to 10 different conditions. Some of these are bunions, corns, nail fungus, athlete's foot plantar fascia or plantar warts, ingrown nails, diabetic ulceration, heel callus, and a sutured laceration. And home care needs really know how to deal with geriatric foot care because it can then impact the well-being of their patient. The geriatric skin condition simulation is really a one-of-a-kind aging skin condition training tool. And this kit includes 9 realistic models of common geriatric skin conditions. And students can adhere these models to themselves as well as mannequin skins, and they can examine that very detailed tissue. And skin care specialists that specialize in elderly clients would find something like this very insightful. Now, personal trainers need to understand the impact of nutrition on sports and training, and our lab kit will provide many hands-on activities for students to participate in, where you take BMI measurements and you read food labels, and you really think about nutrition as it applies in personal care services. And then we have a muscular figure tabletop size human detailed model that we think would be very helpful for massage therapists because it examines those muscles and tendons, ligaments of the human body. The internal organs can also be removed for a more detailed study, but something like this would really provide that key foundational information needing for an occupation like massage therapist. Now, here are some free lesson plans relating to personal services careers. And the first one, our geriatric foot care model, it's a documentation activity that we'd like to share. And it provides a documentation template. So students can practice documenting their findings from a geriatric foot model. And you could use photos. The photos are provided, or you could even do a DIY moulage of conditions on student feet if you're creative. The second link can be found in the curricula that we have with our pressure injury simulation kit. Now, for skin care specialists, understanding where common pressure injury sites occur on the body is really important. And this activity includes instructions for completing a pressure injury assessment. The third link, called Making a Difference Personal Care Services, is provided from the Texas CTE, and it covers 3 to 4 different 45-minute class periods, and it has a series of activities relating to a variety of personal care service jobs like cosmetology. And then the last link on the slide is a lesson by PBS where students really dive into the role of family members acting as caregivers for those who are ill, elderly, disabled, or otherwise not able to care for themselves regularly or efficiently. And students will examine what family caregivers do, what their unique qualities are, and how they cope with the challenges that caregiving can present. And then students determine the type of support system caregiving family members really need in order to take care of themselves and others. So some really good resources there. Now, the next area that we want to look at are consumer services careers. And the occupational area we're going to focus this here is being an entrepreneur. And the activity that we're going to share is entrepreneur traits and leadership self-assessment. And this activity is found in our contemporary entrepreneurship program. And we know that small business owners are entrepreneurs. So this activity will help students think about their strengths, weaknesses, and assess whether owning their own business is a good path for them. So if you go to the link, that will take them to that self-assessment that they can really think through their strengths and areas of things that they think they could improve upon, but perhaps entrepreneurship would be a great match for their background. Here are 4 products we would like to highlight that we think would make good resources for providing some career skills in consumer services. So the first one we want to share, you could highlight small business owners, but is that contemporary entrepreneurship product. And it creates an engaging 2 to 3 week unit on entrepreneurship skills with this ready to use program. So as your students progress through this program, they're going to learn how to be an entrepreneur. They're going to generate an idea, conduct market research, consider legal and financial issues, and they're actually going to write a business plan. And then the unit ends with a Shark Tank-like product pitch day, which we encourage you to invite local professionals to join in on and be on that panel. You can also use our Contemporary Entrepreneurship online course to offer self-paced online entrepreneurship skills practice as well. And students will learn these skills that are needed to start a business and bring a product idea to life. And each guided lesson includes an automatic progress monitoring in the online lesson, and it enables students to digitally submit the exercises to instructors for grading and accountability. We also have a real career employability skills program. It focuses on 20 different soft skills, from communication and interpersonal skills to time management, responsibility. And these are all things that entrepreneurs certainly need to be strong in. And then the fourth thing that we wanted to highlight is our textiles and fashion apparel scenario cards, because these will help your students problem solve specifically in the textiles and fashion area. And we included because buyers and field merchandising reps fall within consumer services, and this might be just a great tie into that area for career exploration. So as we look towards free lesson plans relating to consumer services, we've got 4 different links here that we would like to highlight. The first link will give you a free trial to our online entrepreneurship program. If you go to that link, you can try this lesson, online lesson with your whole class, and it gives you a kind of a 1 lesson soft skill try, if you will. The second link is from the Texas CTE, and it provides a lesson plan specific to consumer services careers. And again, this one has enough for 4 class periods of approximately 45 minutes. The third link is provided by AES Education, and it's an article that includes what they have rated as the 4 best consumer service lesson plans, and each of them has the source, and I thought that was really also a good one. And then that last link is provided from the Utah Education Network, and this is a lesson plan that focuses on consumerism. So your students will be able to identify and manage informational ads, define consumer goods and services, and really explain teen consumer spending impacts. So again, 4 really great free things to try, all relating to consumer services. Now, we've already received a few ideas for using our career pathway scenario cards as a way to integrate employability skills into human services career exploration. Now, here are a few more free resources that you may wish to try out. Now, the first link comes from Realityworks, and it's 3 lesson plans on key employability skills. We've got effective communication, teamwork in the workplace, and preparing for a job interview. And if you go to that link, you will get access to all 3 of those lessons. The second link also was found when searching for middle school lessons, and this one has several links to lessons for specifically middle school, and there are a few high school as well, all about employability skills. And then that third link gives tips for teaching soft skills, plus it provides links to at least 6 other sites that have lesson plans. So once you start diving into these links, there's a lot there. So more you can try out. And there are dozens of free, relatively short human services videos available from YouTube to share information with your students on this as a career choice area. And after a very brief search, I just highlighted a few here, all of them under 3 minutes. The first one is specific to career services. The next one has an overview. And then the third one is a 3-minute, do you want to be in human services? Certainly many, many more than that, but you can see how just a quick search in YouTube can get you a short but focused video on this area that you could very easily integrate into your class time. Now, here's a really good graphic from FCCLA on how FACS aligns to various career clusters. The CTSO FCCLA has a free flyer that has occupations within each cluster listed, and it's available at the link that you see on the screen there. But we thought it did a really, really good job showcasing the occupational areas that FACTS connects with strongest. So if you haven't checked out the FCCLA website, it's just loaded with really, really good information. But wait, we've got a few more things that we'd like to share with you today. And there are some resources for your classroom at these two links. The first one has several different posters and infographics, and then the second link will give you access to several implementation guides. And many of these also focus on human services and areas specific to FACTS. We also have many different free career exploration lessons, and we've highlighted some of the FACTS specific ones. We've got culinary arts, some general family and consumer science. We've got childcare careers, interior design, human services and career exploration that we mentioned earlier. And we also have some specifically focused on STEM for FACTS programs. But if you go to the lesson link there, you can have access to all of those. So a lot there. And then each month we also do provide webinars, just like the one that you're participating in today. You can look under the list of upcoming webinars and you can register for free. Even if you can't participate live, you can get that recording link. We do archive everything, so if you can't participate live, again, you can go back to all of our archived webinars and many, many different FACTS topics. And then we also do like to be very engaging and visible with social media. So a few places you can check out. We do have a blog and we frequently share classroom ideas, have guest writers, product launches. We are busy on our Facebook and Twitter. Those are great places to go and share with other educators all about the great things that you are doing in human services content specifically. So at this time, we would like to open it up for any questions that you might have on any of the content that we have shared today.